start a community and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. How does that sound? Jeff Lanning, hey, how you doing there?
Hey, great to be back. Great to see you.
Yeah, we started a community not too long ago. We thought maybe 100 people at vastsolutionsgroup.com were going to sign up, and we have over 600. And partially why we
Wow.
did it is based on you, Jeff Lanning, and your deal. How's that sound?
That's insane. Congratulations. And I'd love to learn more about that.
Yeah, it worked out really well. So first, tell us a little bit about your background and your community, and then we'll dive into ours. Because I think literally, it's partially the reason we started ours was because you kind of got me off my butt, basically. But go ahead.
That's amazing. Well, I'm glad for the update. Basically, in summary, I help people leverage the power of Microsoft Excel. I've been doing it for 20 years. It all started by doing some in-person sessions, live 8-hour CPE classes. Of course, it's evolved. And so now it's all online and I have a membership. And that way I'm able to help more people at scale and still have the personal touch with live office hours over Zoom. So it works out great. It's a very effective platform. And I'm helping lots of people learn how to get their work done faster.
Plus, now you're more efficient. Plus, financially, I'm sure it helps you net income wise because you're not going out there trading your time for dollars. Instead, what you're doing is providing income on a path. It's not exactly passive, but it's revenue continuing, if you will, going forward and forward and forward.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of my career as a typical accountant and CPA, it's all billable hour. Like that was kind of the whole. And so this is different than that now. And so it's much more time efficient. And it's just, instead of speaking to a room with 50 people, I'm speaking to 100,000 people. And so it's just, I'm able to help more people, which is my mission. So it works out great.
I think more people should be doing that. I mean, that's partially why we did our deal. Because, I mean, it's really hard to go out. I mean, what's typical? Back in the old days, you would go to, well, I know you're, a tax person, but you would go out to a client's, let's say, desktop and work with them. Let's say they're down the road. It takes time to get down there, traffic jam, et cetera, et cetera. You would help them get on their Excel spreadsheet or whatever. But now what you're doing is you're doing an online, efficient, helping, instead of doing one-to-one, you're doing one-to-many, and you're making more money, hopefully meeting more clients, so helping more and more people going forward.
Exactly. And what's nice is instead of having to say the same thing over and over and over again, you plan it out, you record your lecture videos, you do the homework. And so it takes like a while to set up. Like it took me basically 1 year for each course, and I have 6 courses. So like it's a big investment of time, but the back end dividend is it's relatively automated now.
Yeah, when you say relatively, I assume you have to, well, you also have a probably pretty good platform, but you also have to continue to put up more and new stuff because there's new stuff coming out with Excel and artificial intelligence. So you have to update it. So it's probably, relatively speaking, I mean, what's the best way to say it? Yeah, it's passive, but then again, you have to update it. And that's really why you're saying it's not 100% passive.
Correct. It's not totally passive. I mean, the core curriculum is built out, but there's always stuff going on. So there's updates. And so I handle that by, rather than re-recording the core curriculum, I just add those in as additional resources into our LMS, learning management system. And then the live office hours over Zoom are great because the discussions with students are really about meeting them where they're at, and people can go as fast or slow as they want. When I used to teach real time, half the people would say, Jeff, you're going too fast, slow down. And half would say, Jeff, I got this, let's move it faster. And so it's impossible to meet everyone. But with this format where it's pre-recorded, they can pick their playback speed, rewind, pause, work through the exercises. It's a very effective platform regardless of your skill level.
I think more people need to do that because we have a bunch of real estate investors, real estate agents, and they need to make that jump because it's going to be hard going forward to be able to sell a home to one person versus selling many homes to many people because you can have an online platform teaching people how to buy houses maybe on their own and it's passive income and you're reaching people all over the country or world maybe versus just meeting with one person.
Yeah. How did you guys set up your platform and what's your content and how does that look?
Yeah. So basically what we did was our community is called the Vast Vault. And basically what we did was, and it was telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Again, part of it's because of you, because it made me get off my butt. But we have our own platform. We have our own artificial intelligence platform and basically said, okay, here, it was about a month ago. We said, here, we're going to put everything on this platform. I mean, literally everything, every video, every audio, every written word. And hey, we're going to leave it open for everybody. When they need more help specifically from us, then they call us. So really, I'm being completely blunt. It can be a marketing platform, but more than anything, it helps answer the easy questions that we always are answering. And if people need hard, if you will, hard questions answered, well, that's when the one-on-one comes. And man, it's, again, we only thought 100 people are going to sign up, and now we have over 600 people, maybe even 700 now. And it's, paying anywhere from, well, zero all the way to $29 a month. Really, we just increase it to $199 a month. So it's, and people are still signing up. So it's totally worked out.
Wow, that's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Plus, then it's that sort of, I don't want to use the word lead magnet, but it's that introduction to you and your expertise so people can tap you for additional expertise and assistance for their project.
Totally. So what's happened is, like, sometimes we'll just say, hey, if they call in or email or whatever, here, just go to our community, see if you like us first. And if you like us, then, hey, communicate with us. We'll do a one-on-one deal or whatever the case is. And it's been, plus it's fun. I like, doing videos now, whereas I don't know if I used to. And plus it's more, I think it's better for the client. The client can, click on something and say, oh, I want this content, or I want this content, or I don't want this content. And again, sometimes that'll bridge into, well, hey, I need a little bit more help into this. So it's totally worked out. And again, the way I looked at it is, if you personally, Jeff, can do something with Excel and turn it into a platform, into a, passive or a recurring revenue, we can do the same thing, basically.
Yeah, well, that's outstanding. I love hearing that. The model before this membership was these live launches, and then my revenue was very spiky, because it's like, here's this live launch and we have sales, and then it's quiet. Whereas this monthly or annual membership gives me, for my benefit, is it's more of a baseline that's reliable, and then for my students, it's more access, which is always a good thing.
Well, here's a dumb question. Do you have people who enter into your community who end up doing one-on-one business, therefore theoretically kind of taking business from you, if that makes sense?
I haven't noticed that, if that's the case. I have a separate list of consultants. So if my students wanted to pay for custom workbook development, that's not something I do, but I have a list of consultants, and we have TAs they've been through the program and they're students. And so they hop into the discussion forums and things like that. So that kind of is how I have it set up for supporting the students.
You told me that. I don't understand. Why don't you do some one-on-one consulting, and you don't get a piece of that pie at all, correct? Meaning, why is that? Help me to understand that. You've told me that before.
Yeah. So I don't want to get into consulting because, and I don't know how to say this, but some of my past engagements have had these artificial deadlines put on me, and it stresses me out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know what you mean.
Bro, just because you wait till the last moment doesn't make it an emergency on my side. So I'm like, that's just too stressful. And so, plus the other thing is, honestly, I'd rather show you how to build it so you can maintain it over time. Whereas if you pay me to develop it, I'll build something amazing, but then you don't know how to maintain it and update it and tweak the formulas, so it's going to break over time anyway. So I'm more of a teach a man to fish kind of a guy anyway. Even with my kids, they know that about me. So it's just more my nature, so it works out a lot better that way.
Yeah, but let's say you referred it on to someone, I'm making this up, and you got like the Apple strategy, you take 33% of the revenue, wouldn't that, I guess, make more money in the long run, or are you saying no?
I mean, possibly, but honestly, I'd rather be out of that transaction. So if I put myself in the middle, now I'm sort of, what do I have some liability? What do they want their money back? So this, and my referral page says, these are third-party consultants. Do your own due diligence. I am not in the middle in any way, shape, or form.
Got it. I got it. I totally hear you there. And plus, obviously, it's working out for you economically. Here's a question. You don't have to answer this exactly, but are you making more money now than you did before per hour?
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
People need to think about that. And that's really what it boils down to. What if you're making more per hour, you could spend more time with your family, with your kids, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And it's partly, financial. The reward, setting this up, part of the reward is financial, because I'm not chasing, 20 or 50 or $150 an hour. The money is much more than that. But it's the flexibility and not having a strict deadline or project or month-end close or anything like that. And so All the work I do now is pre-scheduled out, from all the video releases to the social media posts. Even like my office hours are scheduled out. So it just fits with my nature better. I'm not a procrastinator. I like work ahead of the curve. And so it's just so flexible. And if I need to take a week off to go to Florida to watch the parachute national championships for my kid, hey, I'm going to take a week off and go down there, and everything's pre-scheduled out and slated to be released. It's a lot more flexible.
What do you say to someone who's afraid to make that let's say someone's a real estate agent. What do you say to someone who's afraid to make that leap, for whatever leap that would be?
Yeah, I would say don't jump off the dock until the boat's close.
Yeah.
Meaning take it one step at a time and build it up. So kind of for me, the way that so about being afraid, start slowly and work on it on the side till the money is comparable. And that's the approach that I took. I kind of built this along the side, and it was very much an evolution to where I was ready to just say, I'm not doing consulting. I'm not doing any one-on-one trainings. I'm not traveling around anymore. So it takes a while to get there, but give yourself some patience. It's a big project, but to me, the rewards are very much worth it.
Yeah, I agree. Because I was afraid to make that leap. I was afraid to start a community. It was expensive at first, but by the way, in my opinion, but because we have all this AI, it took a while. But what I would say is, in the end, man, I'm so glad I'm thinking, why didn't I do it sooner? You know what I mean? It makes a whole bunch of difference. And I think people would be surprised when they'll have a community out there, and just, it's what you can do with that community. That's what I would say. And I agree with you. If you could, tap your toe and see what, make sure the water's kind of warm, make sure you're doing both things potentially, meaning whatever your W-2 job is or whatever. And then also kind of doing the community. In the long run, hopefully more money will be made in the community, and then you could leave the W-2 job if you want to, and it'll work out in the end.
Yeah, exactly right. And I feel like some of the time it's overwhelming because there's, like you said, there's just a lot of potential expense, and the technology, and how do I record the videos, and where do I host the videos, and what's the LMS platform, and how do I, so there's just a lot of unknown unknowns. And so you just kind of take them one at a time, and, you learn as you go. It took me a while to figure out how everything kind of fits together. So just be patient with yourself.
We ended up, this is wild. We're having an app here coming out pretty soon, and man, that's going to change. It's going to be a game changer, because now people can just click on an app and they're going to have access to all the stuff on their mobile. I think that, and I never would have thought that. And there's so many things that come from having a community. Plus, if people are engaging, they're going to be stickier clients. They'll be around a lot longer. Plus, if there's a customer service issue, it'll be easier for you to find out about it, because it'll be in the community, which some people would think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, because then you can get on it quicker. If there's a theme of customer service issues, you can get on it quicker. Plus, more than anything, we don't really need a sales force anymore, because people go into the community, ask questions, when they might get their answers to the question, but also at the same time, they could see and touch and feel us and see if they like us going forward. If they don't, they don't. But if they do, that'll be part of our sales process.
That's interesting, because it sounds like you're getting paid to have that be your sales process, because you're charging a monthly fee for access to your membership. So it's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, I like that. We have a small little free community, but we only have 90 people in that. And that's just, we give some information for just a little bit, but that's also for people who need a little bit, who are brand new in the industry, as an example, who need some help. But yeah, it's a game changer. And again, we should have done this a long time ago, but I think it's so cool that you've done that, and you did it in something so technical. And I think that proves that other people in other industries can make that leap as well.
For sure. I view it as kind of, you're making a service into a product that you sell.
Exactly.
And that is a game changer, because as a service, I'm trading time for dollars. So it takes a while to build your product. But once you build your product, now you're just selling your product, and you can use things like this free membership or free trial or webinars or, social media to get people to become aware of your membership and the product. And so it kind of changes what you're thinking about selling. But the other thing I really like about that is the scope is extremely well defined. So you'd ask me about the consulting projects. That's another thing, is scope creep, and the scope isn't well defined. And so people are like, hey, you said you would do this. And it's like, well, no. And so that's can be a source of tension. But with this product, they know exactly what they're buying. The scope is clear. There's no scope creep. It's so clean, in other words.
Yeah, You're exactly right. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. You're right. When you're consulting, people are like, wait a minute, I want this. Well, wait a minute, you only paid for this. Yeah. And then there's tension going back and anxiety. You get anxiety. Someone calls you on New Year's Eve. You feel like you have to get to it on New Year's Eve. Usually they don't need it for another 5 months, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So
And they don't like what's going on online. Yeah, sure, they could skip to another one. But plus, in my opinion, it's kind of a low dollar for us, at least. It's a low barrier. I mean, for all of our stuff, for $199, I think it's a buy. It is a buy. I will say that. So it's a low for some of our loaded people. It's a low barrier to entry, if you will, for our service. So it's like, no big deal. Most of them are massively rich. So $199 a month is nothing. You know what I mean? Why am I going into that? But I think you get that point.
yeah. So how do you coordinate it? Do you give the same platform, but then some toggles or tags are turned on or off to show how much content you get and what capabilities you get access to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for the free, they might only have access to, let's say, 10% of our stuff. And for the $199, they have access to pretty much everything. Because we have some big time hitters in there that they can communicate with. So it's a network. They can network their own business, which is kind of cool. So they can learn. There's tax strategies in there that a lot of, that in how to's that will help tax professionals and also kind of senior level investors kind of figure some stuff out. So for $199, whatever, if they end up saving $1,000 a month, it works out. Wait a minute, don't you on your platform? Oh no, your platform's open ended basically, correct? They don't toggle on certain things to get certain products and services, though, do they?
Correct. It's one thing that they buy, and but there is a free trial. But I don't have turn on or off capabilities depending on different tiers or different plans. But you had mentioned AI. Tell me how you're using that in your membership.
Yeah, so that's our platform is called Einstein, which we've had since 2018. We even had it in 2010. But basically, all our communication is based on that AI, that platform. So if people even communicate with us, actually, frankly, it's AI that's answering. In the community, it's basically all AI driven. Number one. Number two, for lowering taxes, we use artificial intelligence to kind of prognosticate what the tax liability is going to be, and then we work it backwards to figure out things we can do to lower their tax liability. So really everything we do is AI. Even some of our videos are artificial intelligence. Some of our scripts are artificial intelligence. So hopefully, by the way, hopefully people can learn how to use artificial intelligence by going in that community too, because we have a little artificial intelligence kind of sector in there, so people could learn how to apply artificial intelligence to make them more efficient in their business also, which is pretty cool because we've been doing it so long.
That's cool. So it's not necessarily like AI chat bots or anything, or AI to search all your content. It's more helping them optimize their tax strategy and kind of applying it.
Yeah, AI chat bot for us isn't any big deal because we've done that for so long. So it's not. I know that's kind of a big thing nowadays, but for us, it's not that big of a deal because we've been doing AI for so long. But more than anything, for if someone wants to, now we're going to come out with something. Even if someone wants to a phone system, in our phone system, it's all AI driven. People, if they want, people could even use our AI phone system for their business, as a matter of fact. Or if we have these things called causations, where they can, this is pretty cool. So instead, they're kind of, think of it as a workflow. If someone calls into our office, then a bunch of stuff happens. We call them causations. That could be the case for people as well. So let's say you want to be a part of the community and you want to toggle on that. That is a possibility, as a matter of fact. So we have a lot of stuff than just a normal community where people are watching our videos. We have a lot more stuff that can be used also.
I see. Tools,
real tools. Yeah. AI tools. Because we weren't going to do that, but we decided to do it because so many clients were asking us, hey, can I have that? Can I use that workflow? Yeah, sure. You can use it. Again, we call it causation, but that's exactly right.
That's cool. I think you just sparked an idea that I'm going to add to my community, a little AI for the win type of, just to show how other students are using AI to leverage their work and make it more efficient. So thank you.
Wait, I have a question. So is AI affecting your business negatively or positively? Like that could totally help in your circumstance, I would think.
Yeah, I feel like AI is a really helpful tool for Excel users to learn how to do a specific task. Like, hey, how do I summarize this by region? AI can help write the formulas for you too,
Right.
really specific tasks. And I don't know if you've seen Google AI Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you share your screen and you talk to it and say, here's my Excel file. Can you see it? Yes, I see it. It's got region columns. Yeah, how would I summarize this? Okay, so click this, move this. So it helps users of Excel solve narrow and specific problems really effectively and efficiently. So far, it's different than what I do, which is a lot more comprehensive. Plus, I issue CPE credit for continuing education, education. So, so far I'm okay, but there's a little worry there that might be taken away too by AI. Who knows?
Well, hold on. If you're worried, why not deploy some of it so you're in front of everything that's going on with AI, so you don't have to worry. You're actually using it. Why not do that?
Yeah, or lead the way on showing how to use these tools.
100%.
Yeah.
I just thought of something that's going to make you billions.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of you, so tell us a little bit about like how to get in touch with you, or how do we join the community, or what have you.
Yeah, the best way to kind of check it out is exceluniversity.com/tips. So that's EXCEL-university.com/TIPS. And there you can check out a free course. Just jump into our weekly newsletter. I send a Excel tips once a week, and that's the greatest way to get in touch with me and get involved.
Okay, what's your avatar? What's the perfect person who's gonna, go and research your stuff or use you or use your community?
Yeah, who I'm for is Excel users, primarily in accounting and finance roles, but also other roles who are using Excel daily or at least weekly, rather than just, once a month or something like that. So if you're an active Excel user and some of your job consists of using Excel workbooks, then I'm your guy. I can help you get those recurring use workbooks done a lot faster.
And I'm going to ask this. I probably could ask this offline, but so we just came out with a new product. Actually, we're in beta called AI Credit Max. And it's basically, we get credit for people who are using technology on the federal level and also on the state level to get, money back from the government, right? So people come to us to help with their CPAs, help with their tax professionals, or we just do the tax filing. So we can help, again, get money back from the government for taxes, right? So, and it's basically, there's 4 questions that the government asks. In effect, are you using technology to better and innovate whatever, your systems or your product, or are you inventing something that's unique? Do you have people in that realm who are using your products and services who potentially might be a candidate for that?
Possibly, yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. Are you saying there's a program where it's like a tax credit or something?
Yeah, you and I need to talk offline. But yes, as a matter of fact, yes. I mean, I was just talking to a client just now in Florida. There's no state tax in Florida, but I think we're going to be able to get him money back from Florida because of all the AI testing he's doing.
You're kidding.
It's a lot. Actually, I was just talking to a lawyer where she spent $100,000. I think we're going to be able to get her like $100,000 back, federal tax credits.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's talk offline. I'm glad we brought this up. I think, Jeff, we might be able to think of something. How's that sound?
That sounds great to me.
All right. So why don't we sign up? Once again, this is Ken. Jeff, one last time, tell us how to get a hold of you.
excel-university.com/tips.
Sweet. Jeff Lenning, once again, thank you very much. It's, I think, the 3rd time you've been on here, and it's always fun. Again, you're really basically responsible for me getting the community, so I appreciate it. Once again, this is Ken French, vastsolutionsgroup.com. You're watching, listening, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks, everybody.